NMDC, who is also the convener for the program, and Ms. Jyoti Vij, Deputy Secretary General FICCI. She is the co-convener for the program. And since we all are here to hear from them, so without much ado, I would request our program's convener, Shri D.K. Monti ji, for his address, please.
Yeah, very good afternoon, all of you. On behalf of NMDC, I would like to extend my warm welcome to all those who are present over here. A special mention to Sri Sumit Dev, CMD NMDC Limited, and Srimati Jyoti Vij, Deputy Secretary General FICCI, for taking out time and joining us today. It is my pleasure to share that commemorating 75 glorious years of India's independence, NMDC along with FICCI is organizing an international conference on Indian metals, minerals and metal industry. Transition towards 2030 and Vision 2047 on August 23 to 24th at Hotel Taj Palace, New Delhi. The key objective of this event is to have deliberations on the roadmap for Indian minerals and metal sector and transition towards 2030 and Vision 2047, increasing its contribution to the economic growth and ushering in the next era of growth for the industry moving forward. It will also provide a great networking opportunities. The event would also serve an platform for the industry collaboration, joint ventures and partnerships around technology, raw material security and demand augmentation for the minerals and metal in the country. As you know, the Indian metals and mineral sector is going to play a fundamental role in India's transition to 2030 and realizing the Vision 2047 of Government of India. With initiatives such as Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India campaign, smart cities, rural electrification and focus on building renewable energy projects as well as an increase in public infrastructure spending under the Gati Shakti initiative, the sector would witness immense growth in the years to come, supporting the many downstream industries like construction, automobiles, and others. India's demand for mining commodities is poised to increase rapidly, and it is therefore imperative to ensure our commitment to Atmanirbhar Bharat. The mining industry can propel the economy by creating employment, meeting the ever-growing demand of downstream industries such as manufacturing, metals, and infrastructure, and also through increased fiscal contributions. As you all are aware that NMDC has been making valuable and substantial contribution to the overall development of the mineral sector and the nation for last 6 decades. We aspire to maintain our leadership as the largest iron ore producer in India, while establishing our organization as a quality iron ore producer and expanding business by acquiring and operating various mines in India and abroad, rendering optimum satisfaction and value creation for our stakeholders. Our objective is not just to expand our operations in the areas of mining and mineral processing to meet the growing demands from domestic and international markets, but also to achieve international standards in per capita productivity, value addition, and cost effectiveness. We at NMDC are active propagators of responsible mining with commitment to sustainable development and environment friendliness at all our locations. With rapid developments and advancements in technology and ever-changing market dynamics of minerals and metals around the world, it is very crucial that we discuss the driving forces of these sectors both at global and domestic level. To deliver on this intent, we will be organizing the International Conference on Indian Minerals and Metal Sector Transition towards 2030 and Vision 2047, which is going to witness gathering of top CEOs, policymakers, country heads, industry experts, among others, deliberating on the future of mining and metals worldwide. Besides this, I believe this conference will also offer an effective platform for furthering the bilateral dialogues among major players of mineral and metal industries worldwide to explore business opportunities and leverage each other's comparative advantage in the sectors. I once again welcome you all to this conference on August 23rd and 24th at Hotel Taj Palace, New Delhi. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Mohanty, for sharing the objectives of the program that we are going to have on the August 23rd and 24th. May I now request Shri Sumit Dev, who is a chairman cum managing director NMDC Limited, as well as the chair of the FICCI Mining Committee, and who has been the guiding force for this program, to share his perspectives with all of us. Over to you.
Thank you, Arpan. Director Production, Madam Vij from FICCI, and all of you, a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for coming. So it gives me immense pleasure to address you on this curtain raiser for this international conference which we are having, the Indian Mineral and Metal Industry Transition Towards 2030 and Vision 2047, scheduled for August 23rd and 24th of this year. Now, as you all are aware, this year is we are celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and this was one event and 75 years of independence of this country. So it was our thought that obviously, but this is a second edition of the program which we are having. We have had it with FICCI. I am associated with FICCI, and it is always a pleasure to do a program with them. I mean, the previous edition went off very well, and that is how we thought that we should continue it. In fact, the COVID put a stop to a lot of activities, but then we thought that this is an event which we should do. As you all are aware, in the mineral and the mining sector is a very important sector in this country, and this currently the government has a lot of focus on this sector. There's a lot of policy changes which are being brought about, and that is how we thought that this would be a wonderful platform for the industry and for all of us here, the policymakers. So we have people from the government, we have the secretaries coming, so we have CEOs, we have the private sector participating. So that's how we thought that this will be a very nice forum, and probably where people would be there to address and share their knowledge. Our endeavor through this conference is to discuss the new growth drivers that will be revolutionizing the global and the Indian mineral and metal industry, and the challenges and the opportunities which are there. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of challenges. There are a lot of things which the industry would want, especially the mining sector. So these would be discussed. Now, the assemblage at this conference is going to be very intriguing, as it will bring multiple facets of the Indian mineral and metal industry together on one platform. It is very encouraging to see the major players of these industries coming together to participate in this conference as participants as well as speakers. We have very high-profile speakers from the industry, academia, experts, among others. We are pleased to share that the conference would be inaugurated by Sri Prahlad Joshi ji, Honorable Minister for Mines, Coal and Parliamentary Affairs, and Sri Jyotiraditya Scindia, Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation and Steel, Government of India, in the august presence of Sri Alok Tandon ji, Secretary Minister of Mines, and Sri Sanjay Singh ji, Secretary Ministry of Steel, along with the industry leaders. There are 5 technical sessions to follow the inaugural, which would focus on the vision for the Indian mineral and the metal industry, the global perspective for the industry, critical and deep-seated minerals. These are very critical for us. The government has got a lot of focus on this. There are a lot of battery minerals which are there. So we need to, obviously, these are not available in the country. So there's a lot of focus there. So these are things which will be deliberated. For the valedictory session, we will be led by Sri Fagan Singh Kulaste ji, Honorable Minister of State for Steel and Rural Development, and Sri Rao Sahab Patil ji, Honorable Minister for State for Mines, Coal and Railways, Government of India, along with Madam Ruchika Govil, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Steel, and Sri Kundan Kumar, Advisor, Niti Aayog. We are a country which has been blessed with natural resources. I mean, there are a lot of natural resources, most of them the bulk minerals, coal and iron ore specifically. There's a lot of focus on the steel industry. The national steels policy speaks of going to 300 million tons. So obviously, there's going to be a lot of requirement of iron ore, 400 odd million tons of iron ore, which is going to be required. So there's a lot of focus on the mineral and the mining sector. So therefore, it is of very vital importance for the economy. Currently, we are just doing 2.5% contribution the mining sector. So this needs to be enhanced to at least 3% to at least reach that $5 trillion dollars of economy which our Honorable Prime Minister has been speaking on. For over 6 decades, we have ensured a very steady supply of iron ore. As far as NMDC is concerned, we have been a supplier of iron ore, and as we move ahead to become a 100 million ton miner by 2030, we must gear up in line with the country's vision of a digital transformation and build a self-sufficient mining sector. So now the mining sector needs to move into that phase of digitalization. Then there's the ESG goal, where environmental, social, and governance. So these are things which are the latest standards in the mining sector. So these things will be all of them will be discussed. We believe that this conference has been conceptualized to provide a platform to the industry to dwell upon the growth charters of the Indian mineral and metal industry, which can help in leveraging the opportunities present, overcome the challenges, explore collaborations, opportunities, and mutually benefit alliances. With this, I urge everyone to actively participate in this conference on Indian mineral and metal sector and make it a huge success. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, on taking the pleasure of this occasion, we are also launching the background report to this event, which mentions about the objectives and the purpose of this program, as well as various key aspects related to the industry and to the various technical sessions that we are doing during the course of 2 days. So I would request our dignitaries for the day, Shri Sumit Dev, Shri D.K. Monti ji, and Ms. Jyoti Vish, to kindly launch the background report of the program. A copy of the same would also be circulated to all post the interaction today. So while I request unveiling by the dignitaries on the dais to unveil this background report and present it for the media snaps. Please join me and give a round loud of applause. Thank you so much, the dignitaries on the dais, for the unveiling of the background report. Shri Abhijit Narendra, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Steel, is in a meeting with the Honorable Minister, so he might join us a little late, while we have some time for the media interaction with the dignitaries on the dais. We have CMD, NMDC, Director Production, NMDC, and Deputy Secretary General FICCI. So if you would like to highlight anything on the program, on the industry, we have some time for this brief media interaction. I would request if there are any questions or any inputs that you...
So if you look at the mineral sector specifically, we believe that the currently whatever is mined in this country will need to be value added, and that is the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister. So this conference, obviously, technology, knowledge from outside, but investment in the country, that is the key focus. NMDC as a company, we have mined in this. We are in iron ore, and we have basically for the domestic industry. We are suppliers to the domestic industry. We have a company in Australia also, which does mining in Australia, of course, at the exploratory phase at this point of time. But then for battery minerals, which are essential for the EV sector, the electric sector, and the renewable sector. So that we have not done much. So that in the country there's not much of resources. So we'll have to go and explore in other countries and look for minerals which will be used in this country. So the focus is basically investments in this in the country itself and value addition in the country. No, we'll have to see at this point of time. You cannot. It'll just be speculation if I tell you some number or something. Thank you.
Recently,
So you see the coal sector, basically, if you look at the coal sector, NMDC's role, we have got 2 mines in Jharkhand. We are about to start. There are issues, some technical issues. Otherwise, if you look at the coal sector, there's a lot of focus on the coal currently. I mean, now there's a shortage of coal. There was a point of time where people thought that they're going to phase out coal, but then now coal is a very important commodity, which has become a very important commodity. Mr. Anil Agarwal is very right when he says there's a lot of resources in this country. We have had challenges in allocating of mines, but then now things are the government, the Ministry of Coal and all that, they're taking a lot of steps, positive steps, and then a lot of mines have been allocated. And I think the government is very much focused to ensure that the coal production goes up. So recycling, when you talk of recycling, that's a circular economy. I mean, that's the scraps recycling. So that's a separate part of it. Yeah, obviously. No, I don't think that's for the steel sector.
Would request if you can switch on the mic, please. Sorry to interrupt. Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, this one.
हेलो सर, मेरा सवाल ये था कि एक तो माइनिंग पर काफी ऑलरेडी रॉयल्टी माइनिंग सेक्टर को देनी पड़ रही है, तो काफी उससे प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी पर भी काफी फर्क पड़ता है एनएमडीसी को अगर हम देखें तो। दूसरा, अभी रिसेंटली कुछ आफ्टर 10-15 इयर्स कुछ हमने देखा कि मेटल्स में कुछ इंडस्ट्री में कुछ तेजी थी और अचानक ही एक्सपोर्ट का बैन भी लग गया और एकदम मार्केट क्रैश कर गई। तो इस दोनों चीजों से कितना प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी पर एनएमडीसी को देखते हैं फ्यूचर में कि रॉयल्टी को लेकर और एक्सपोर्ट बैन जो जब भी गवर्नमेंट कुछ भी इंक्रीज आता है स्टील इंडस्ट्री के अंदर, गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कुछ ना कुछ इस पर कंट्रोल कर दिया जाता है, तो इस दोनों चीजों को किस तरह से देखते हैं आप?
नहीं, एक तो पहली बात आपकी जो आपने बताया कि स्टील इंडस्ट्री, जो स्टील प्राइसेस अगर आप देखेंगे तो पिछले साल दिसंबर से लेके जनवरी में काफी देयर वाज अ स्टीप इंक्रीज। और आप लोग जानते हैं कि स्टील जो होता है, जो आम आदमी के लिए, जो अल्टीमेटली इट शुड बी अफोर्डेबल टू द नॉर्मल पीपल, तो वो स्टील प्राइसेस काफी बढ़ गई थी, एक इन्फ्लेशनरी टेंडेंसी बन गई थी। तो उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए ये जो ड्यूटीज वगैरह का बातचीत हुआ, एंड दैट्स हाउ इट वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड। नाउ अभी काफी स्टील प्राइसेस काफी गिर भी गए हैं। नाउ दे हैव फॉलन क्वाइट सब्सटेंशियली। So it's up to the government when they will take a call on this. So they are seized of the situation. वो जानते हैं ये situation, अभी स्टील प्राइसेस घट गए हैं, तो वो तो एक अलग सी ये हो गया। दूसरा जो आपने बताया कि रॉयल्टी की बात जो कही है, रॉयल्टी तो सरकार जो करते हैं, अभी 15% है जो एएसपी पे रॉयल्टी 15% लगता है, जो स्टैंडर्ड रॉयल्टी है। जहां माइंस सरकार ने गवर्नमेंट कंपनीज को दिया है एलोकेशन के बेसिस में, वहां पे 150% ऑफ रॉयल्टी, तो एडिशनल रॉयल्टी लगती है, तो वो दैट इज स्टैंडर्ड उसमें कि हमें कोई ऐसा इतना ज्यादा इश्यूज नहीं है। वी डोंट हैव एनी इश्यूज। गवर्नमेंट रॉयल्टी लगाता है, दैट्स ड्यूज है, स्टैट्यूटरी ड्यूज है, देना पड़ता है, तो दैट्स ओके। हमें हमारे लिए कोई इसके लिए इतना चिंताजनक बात नहीं है। एक अगर पॉलिसी मैटर है, वो रॉयल्टी ऑन रॉयल्टीज इश्यूज है, वो सब है, वो तो हम हाईलाइट कर रहे हैं, वो बातें अलग है माइनिंग।
सर, इसमें क्वेश्चन था कि अब फाइनेंशियल ईयर, लास्ट फाइनेंशियल में कितना हमने लॉस निकाला होगा और कितना हमने उसमें कितना टन मिनरल निकाला होगा और कितना टन हमने सेल परचेज किया होगा जो प्रॉफिट में रहा है, क्योंकि अब चाइना से हमारा काफी आना बंद हो चुका है, काफी बैन लग चुका है, तो इस हिसाब से हम कहाँ प्रॉफिट में हैं या क्योंकि प्रॉफिट में अभी भी नहीं है, हम उसके हिसाब से देखा जाए तो जितना हमने निकाला उतना हम सेल नहीं कर पा रहे।
नहीं, शायद मैं आपको थोड़ा सा बता दूं कि पिछले साल एनएमडीसी का प्रोडक्शन 42 मिलियन टन था, 42 मिलियन टन, और पिछला साल वाज हाईएस्ट, इसके पिछले साल 34 मिलियन टन था, 34 मिलियन टन, 34 से 42 किया हमने। हमारी रिकॉर्ड प्रोडक्शन थी, रिकॉर्ड टर्नओवर थी, रिकॉर्ड प्रॉफिट, ऑल टाइम हाई। जो पिछला सालों से, आई मीन इफ यू लुक एट हिस्ट्री, एनएमडीसी का हिस्ट्री अगर देखेंगे, उससे सबसे हाईएस्ट टर्नओवर, प्रॉफिट, प्रोडक्शन सब कुछ था। तो एनएमडीसी काफी अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस, आई मीन इट वाज एन एक्सेप्शनल परफॉर्मेंस पिछला साल का, क्वाइट एन एक्सेप्शनल परफॉर्मेंस। अभी अभी इस साल हमारा टारगेट है टू डू एटलीस्ट 47-48 मिलियन टन का इस साल का टारगेट है हमारा। मैं आता हूँ, मैं आ रहा हूँ, मैं आ रहा हूँ अभी। तो ये पिछले साल का था। इस साल का जो अभी फर्स्ट क्वार्टर है, फर्स्ट क्वार्टर का हमारा प्रॉफिट्स काफी गिर गया है, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली आयरन ओर तो स्टील पे ही लगेगा ना, तो स्टील का मार्केट जब फॉल करेगा तो फिर आयरन ओर का भी फॉल करेगा, पहली चीज। दूसरी चीज, थोड़ा मानसून भी इस बार थोड़ा पहले आ गया है, मानसून बारिश काफी हुआ है। जो बैलेडिला सेक्टर है, जो हमारी सबसे ज्यादा हमारी प्रोडक्शन वहां से होती है, तो वो वहां पे काफी ज्यादा इफेक्ट हो गया बारिश के कारण में। तो वैसे एक नॉर्मल एक फॉल है, काफी ज्यादा स्टीप फॉल है, बिकॉज स्टील का भी अभी देखेंगे, सब स्टील कंपनीज भी रिजल्ट्स अनाउंस किए हैं, तो सभी का एक वो पैटर्न देखेंगे कि काफी ड्रॉप किया है। तो इसलिए हमारा भी आयरन ओर भी उसी हिसाब से है। हमारी जो रोड मैप है, हमारा जो हम लोग जो टारगेट किए हैं, हमारा जो 67 मिलियन टन है 2030 तक हम बनाएंगे, जिसमें से बैलेडिला मेन होगा, फिर उसके बाद में कर्नाटका होगा, कर्नाटका में 17 होगा, यहाँ 42 होगा, और जो हमारी छत्तीसगढ़ में माइंस है, स्टेट के साथ में एनसीएल करके कंपनी है, वहां पे हम करेंगे, तो बैलेंस। तो टोटल 67 मिलियन टन का हमारी टारगेट है टोटल।
Sir, my name is Haresh Sagar. So my question is that right from uranium to thorium, zinc, and so many minerals are there in the country, and we are mineral-rich countries amongst one of the world. So my question is that why, when we are having rich material, why our industry what for finished products also. Although it is not your subject because you are individuals, but still you have the best of the knowledge.
So if you look at, first I'll come to iron ore. अभी इसमें कैटेगरीज जैसे हैं, जो आपने जो बात बताया यूरेनियम वगैरह, वो तो those are atomic minerals, and they are very strategically also very important for us, and it needs to be conserved for our production of energy. So that is atomic mineral. एक हो गया, दूसरा हो गया जो बल्क मिनरल, कोल आयरन ओर हो गया, और जो स्टील में लगता है, हाँ, जिंक है, एल्यूमिनियम है। सो दीज आर मिनरल्स व्हिच हैव टू बी यूज्ड इन दिस कंट्री, वैल्यू एडेड इन दिस कंट्री, एंड देयर इज लॉट ऑफ एक्टिविटी। इसमें काफी बड़े कंपनीज है, देयर ऑल लॉट ऑफ, वेदर इट इज हिंडाल्को और वेदर इट इज वेदांता और वेदर इट इज द आयरन ओर स्टील सेक्टर में JSW, JSPL, so all of them are doing a very splendid work, and there's huge amount of capacity enhancement going on. So काफी चीजें यहाँ पे हो रहा है। I mean, we would believe that ये जो वैल्यू एडिशन कंट्री में होना चाहिए, और कंट्री अगर फिनिश एक्सपोर्ट करता है तो then that is fine.
Do we have sufficient R&D in this search and development which can,
Yes, we are. I mean, if you look at the private sector or the domestic sector, everybody, I mean, the best of technologies and the best of research is going on. So there is not much of, I mean, to that extent, we don't think that there is any dearth of R&D, and most of the companies, they are doing a lot of, but abhi jo focus hai, that is more on the environment. I mean, how to, and green hydrogen energy. I mean, that is the area where we are moving on. I mean, that is where people are focusing on. जैसे environment का sustainability, so these are circular economy, so these are things which are now relevant, and we need to focus on those areas also.
Sir,
in addition to that, there are so many minerals and metals, particularly in which and how many produced, you people are focusing. is the range?
So NMDC as a company, if you look at our focus has been mostly on bulk minerals. So when you say bulk minerals, it is coal, iron ore. These are bulk minerals. That is number one. But having said that, the government now is very keen that battery minerals are a very strategic. There is a category of minerals which are battery minerals. There's a lithium, hai, cobalt, hai, nickel. Hai. So these are three or four minerals which are strategic minerals and which needs the country needs very badly. So these are not much is available in the country. Exploration needs to be done. So we are focusing on exploration, especially Karnataka for lithium. We have got exploration rights for this lithium. So lithium is something which, because once you transit into that non-fuel, fossil fuel economy, renewables, so there you need to have this mineral. These are minerals. Currently, these are all imported. So whether it is exploration for domestic in the domestic sector in India, or exploration outside, where you get this lithium, if there are available resources, they will be brought into the country, and then probably value addition would need to be done here.
Sir, didn't find any big name in the world of steel making or as well as in the raw material sector in this in the program. They are not participating. What is the reason? Is it because of that export duty imposition?
You're talking of?
I'm saying that not a big name in the world of steel making, as well as those are into the raw material. They provided us raw material, BHP and others, and POSCO and also. They have not taken part. They are not taking part in this conference. What is the reason? Is it because of the export duty or what?
I mean, if you look at the inaugural itself, we have the Sajan Jindal ji there from the JSW.
I'm saying international player. International player is not a single name is there.
Okay. So no, so in that case, if you look at the international this thing, many of them like from WSA and all, so they are basically getting represented. And POSCO, yes, POSCO particularly if you are talking about POSCO, so POSCO has a certain this thing during that time, so they were not able to join us. But
affecting them. I mean, if you're trying to connect both these people, whether
no, I mean to say, I mean by
it
imposing the
it's not
export
a
duty,
design.
I mean,
not
it is not
designed
like
that way. It's probably just that some of them are
Coincidence.
not able to join.
So
That's all.
last time probably we had people from Thyssen Group and all that. Some people were there. No? I think we had such. So anyway,
Thyssen Group and all, we are
Thyssen is there. Thyssen
this
Group
time
is
also
here. But Thyssen Group is also there in the program.
I mean,
this
since the entire conference is, to explore the investment or attract investment, deliberate on the subject, as well as that we have got these, positives, we have got, these negatives, and, you come and invest in India. And there, if we don't find any big foreign name in the international market, it's look a little odd because either these people are, or we didn't approach. That could be one of the reasons, or they have not keen to participate.
So I'll come to that. So probably you see, it is like this, that if you look at the steel sector specifically, because NMDC is an iron ore, and then obviously corollary to that is the steel sector. Currently, if you look at the steel sector, I mean, if you look at the country, I mean, whether it is JSW, whether it's JSPL, or whether it is SAIL, ArcelorMittal, I mean, all of them are international players. I mean, it is not that they are not international. You think of JSW, they are there everywhere. It is not. I would call them international players. Number one. Number two, ArcelorMittal, they are an international player. Tata Steel, they are international players. So they are participating. It's not that, I mean, it is not an international thing that they POSCO or some or JFE or the Japanese people are. So it's not by design or something like that. But then, we are using the best of technologies which are there in the world.
Sir, what is our Vision 2047? Because the conference is, transition towards 2030 and Vision 2047. So what is our vision actually? Vision 2047? No. I mean, our vision, I believe.
So if you look at the steel sector, I mean, if you specifically look at the steel sector, then the steel sector, the government has already, there's a national steel policy which says 300 million tons of steel. So 2030. So that is the agenda currently at this point of time. We would believe that 2030, 300 million tons is also a very large figure. I mean, so that would be the vision of the whole, number one. Number two, focus on strategic minerals, the battery minerals which are there. These are not available in the country. So deliberation on that is very much required. So that would be important. Acha. So the vision will be discussed in that forum. I mean, so we are currently looking at if you look at the steel sector or the iron ore sector in the so currently we are at a very mature level. I mean, supply of the 300 million tons of steel, you would require the iron ore. So where we are currently at this stage, so to reach that 400 million level, number one. Number two, look at our sustainability goals, our environment goals, the stakeholders. So these are addressing all those issues.
Sir, what
So you want some numbers in there?
Sir, what I'm trying to say, up to 2030, we all know. But what is Vision 2047? I mean, our theme is transition towards Vision 2047.
See, as you rightly said, 2030, Government of India has already made a guideline of around 300 million tons. This conference is meant for that only, for deliberation, how we will go for 2047, keeping 25 years of time from today onwards. Definitely, we'll go much beyond 300 million ton, maybe around 400 or 500 million ton. That deliberation is required to be done. That is why this conference.
More to deliberate on the roadmap than.
Mainly the
So
conference.
this
meant
is
for
where
that
the vision will come from.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
See, this is.
Alternative intelligence to take.
There could be. See,
That's why if you look at all those things are going to
in
be
this,
discussed.
I will just add, as already sir has said, not only the mineral sector also, lot of engineering and your equipment side also, lot of things has to come. New technology on that part. As you rightly said, the means foreign experts are not available here presently for the deliberation of this, but they will come forward to give their engineering support and technically how the things will improve and what are new items are to be added to it to do mining in a more effective way. Those investments will come. There may not be directly on the mining, but indirectly to support the mining, all the requirements, whatever is there definitely a lot of investments will come.
Australia.
See, as per the minerals, it depends. Like coal, if you go coal, as and now it is Australia mostly. I don't know there or Brazil. There many are there, but in our country we are self-sufficient with iron ore. We are self-sufficient presently.
So my question was like, India has hiked the prices of iron ore from yesterday. So can we expect the demand of iron ore to again pick up, since you said it was monsoon, the demand goes down? Is it a signal that?
I mean, the prices have bottomed out. We believe that the prices have bottomed out at this point of time. The price increase has been a very marginal one. So it's a very marginal one. I think that, and since now once the monsoons are ending, so then the production, we believe that demand is going to pick up.
Okay. And so since you mentioned that steel sector has a lot of potential in the country, and we already have a vision of 300 million ton, I'm sure government will be upping its target in line with 2047 vision. My question was to you was that everybody knows about Nagaha, but can we expect NMDC to continue its interest in steel sector, in steel making?
So, as a company, our basic focus would be on mining. We believe that we are a mining company, as a mining company. Value addition, yes, we are interested in getting into pelletization and all that, but not per se into steel production. So that's how the company is emerging the last year.
So no more
as a separate entity.
Okay. And so, what about the renewable interest? You just spoke about green energy and renewables. So we knew that NMDC has keen interest to invest in renewables.
So currently we are looking at the renewable sector. We have not made our interest very clear. But then renewables, in terms of minerals for requirement of minerals for the renewables. So that is. So if you look at once you look at the renewable or the electric vehicle sector, you need to look at the amount of minerals which are required in the electric vehicle
is 13 times more than what is required in an ICE. A normal car of a ICE engine and electric vehicle, the requirement of minerals is more by 13 times. And even in renewables, the requirement of minerals, first minerals is much more. So there will be a lot of requirement of renewables. You want to focus on renewables, and the country has to move towards that, transit towards that, and you need minerals. And there are various types of minerals. So this is where you need to focus.
Are we exploring any country for exploration of minerals used in EV? You just said we have to go to other countries.
Yeah, for example, no, there is a potential in this country also, but connected to be explored. So we are looking at this country also. Otherwise, we have a company in Australia, which is where we are looking. We understand there could be traces of lithium, cobalt. Those aspects.
We are exploring.
Yes, yes.
Exploration in Australia,
In Australia.
legacy, right?
Yes, yes.
Which mineral you said? Lithium.
Lithium and cobalt.
Lithium and nickel and cobalt.
सर इंडिया से बाहर जो आप प्रोडक्शन करते हैं तो उसकी प्रोडक्शन की सप्लाई है हिंदुस्तान में कितना आता है और खास करके यूरेनियम का स्टेटस क्या है सर?
यूरेनियम तो हम नहीं करते, यूरेनियम नहीं करते नंबर 1, और दूसरा दैट्स एन एटॉमिक मिनरल, वो अलग एक वो उसका अलग मैंडेट है। एटॉमिक मिनरल्स का मैंडेट अलग है, सब लोग एटॉमिक मिनरल्स में नहीं करते, तो वो एक अलग चीज है। दूसरी बात है ये कि अभी हम लोग कहीं प्रोडक्शन बाहर में नहीं किए हैं। एक कंपनी है ICVL करके है, कोल है, वो मोजाम्बिक में है, वो सेल और NMDC और RINL के एक जॉइंट वेंचर है मोजाम्बिक में। ICVL वो कोल करती है, कोकी कोल करती है। Yes.
JSPL has gone from this.
JSPL is not there. No, they never was there. JSPL was not there.
JSPL is not in ICVL. इसमें NMDC है, Tata Steel भी है, then SAIL है, all the coal comes to India.
Which are the companies? SAIL, NMDC and RINL.
RINL, major shareholder.
Only these three.
Three and some extent Tata Steel.
ICVL में 3 shareholder. बाकी JSPL का individually they have only the mines in Mozambique.
And all this coal comes to India. We are utilizing here. And one more thing, as you said, these global partners, what are there? We are going to have our high commissioners and ambassadors also going to join. We have already extended our invitation.
I think we are
सर
done with that.
पाइपलाइन में कुछ है कि किसी और देश में आप प्रोडक्शन करने जा रहे हैं?
Yeah, we are having our company Legacy Iron Ore company at Australia. They are definitely, now it is in the stage of exploration. We are in future we will definitely go for it.
So whatever the acquisition will happen in NMDC will happen through Legacy.
In Australia.
In Australia.
It's not that only in Australia, since there is a company which is 90% owned by NMDC, so that they will focus.
Are you looking at other geographies also?
Yes, yes, of course. We are not limiting ourselves. As Africa, we have been looking at for quite some time. Zambia, everywhere we have been looking at. But then this was Tanzania, so they have been.
Africa, Zambia, Tanzania. Is for which mineral?
See, Tanzania, we are looking for gold, but then finally we didn't find anything. So exploration is like you do 100. This one you find one. This one. So it's very.
And what are you looking at Africa and Zambia? In Zambia.
Tanzania was there.
Tanzania, Zambia, Zimbabwe also.
Okay.
Copper and other.
I would request if we can park the. I would request if we can park.
Gold now we are getting in our country also. We are doing exploration in that area.
No, we are open. It's not that we are not open. We are open.
So I would request if we can park the remaining questions for 23rd and 24th, and would request Ms. Jyoti Vij, DSG FICCI, to have the concluding address and propose the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Arpan, and good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to this, thank you for joining in the curtain raiser for this important event, which is happening on the 23rd and 24th. You heard, both Mr. Sumit Deb and Mr. Mehanti on the program details, and FICCI, of course, is very proud to be a partner with NMDC in the second edition of this program. The first edition, as you rightly said, went off very well. COVID did slow us down a little, but we are back with the bang, and this is a very important sector for the nation, and hence, it's important to kind of bring the industry together. As somebody asked, what will be the vision? So to really envision what 25-year roadmap would be, government is really focusing very hard. So this is the way of kind of bringing the industry and get to envision what's going to be the industry like, what its contribution is going to be, and how it can contribute to the nation building even going forward. It's a critical sector. There are concerns and issues, but there are loads of opportunities, and that is what we intend to discuss at the program. Your participation, even at this program on the 23rd, 24th, would be very useful. Also, if you could kind of, cover some of the aspects about the program, from now to the event, I think it'll also generate a lot of interest through the media reports that may come out, from now to the 23rd of the event. We will have a lot of government participation as well as high-level participation from the industry as well. So, it'll be a great opportunity for all of us to sit together and talk about, what are the opportunities and the challenges the industry faces, and how do we really kind of meet the requirements. There are, like Mr. Deb did talk about, a lot of minerals which are still being explored. I think those are very, very critical for our nation from the the net zero perspective, the commitments that we have made at the at the global levels. We'll be doing pretty well on the energy side, and I'm sure the metal industry will also kind of join hands to achieve that. This is something which is very critical for the metal industry to go forward to. So these are some of the aspects that we'll be talking about. And once again, thank you, everybody. And thank you to the Chairman, MD, as well as Director Production, NMDC, for joining in. And may I request all of you to join for lunch, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. On behalf of the organizing committee, we convey our thanks to all of you for joining us today, and to the dignitaries for sparing time and joining us. Thank you so much. You may please join us for the lunch. Thank you.